What's up, gifted disciples? FX today is the 7th of April 2026, and today we will be diving into our analysis for Tuesday on Nasdaq and CADJPY. Okay, so we're going off a weekly standpoint of Nasdaq, and you can see was busier. I, I already started for you guys. Okay, so on Nasdaq, you can see I pointed out the lows and the highs recently. So what I'll do is I'll just move them right, and we can see clearly that right at the bottom of the second the second rectangular shape from the bottom is the new low. So we'll move them and we'll organize it so it looks a little bit better. Alright, so off the recent low that it made, we mark at the recent high of the weekly, and that is that wick right at the bottom. That is the start of the week's candle. So as you can see, it it looks like that can be a standpoint for where the retracement was from the top. So what I'll do is I'll put the Fibonacci retracement off on the daily on the weekly's low, and we'll identify the 76.2 zone of the low to the recent high. And once the 78.7 zone is marked, I would go back onto the weekly to the weekly time frame, and then I would check if the zone aligns with recent price action. Recent price action lows. So as I can see there at the bottom, it does respect the recent price action lows with those 2 weeks at the bottom. So I'll go on to the 4 hour and I'll check on its recent lows and its highs and identify a key area to enter. And as you can see the it's giving the readers would know it's giving a inverted head and shoulders. So or how it looks is that price bounced off an area, went up, broke the area, bounced low, went back up, bounced back to the previous price, and went back up. So what I'll do is I'll mark I'll mark the Fibonacci on the recent low to recent high to identify the 78.6 zone, and I will put a zone there to go deeper into checking on if that area is valid for an entry point. Okay, once I've identified that area, I would go back onto the daily to have a look if that area is a zone where market would rally from and push back up. And as you can see, it gives inefficiency there on the left hand side, so that zone basically gives confluence and confidence that we might drop down into that area to look for buy signals. So what I would do right now, just neaten my chart so that it looks a lot better, and then I would go onto my 1 hour. Once on my 1 hour, my areas is already placed, so all I need to do is identify an entry point. So I would look at an entry point somewhere around the 23, 660 zone. Now check back onto my 4 hours, and what I would do is I'll just neaten the chart and really give you guys an idea on um, how I do my weekly trades and my weekly setups. So I'll just neatly make it look more approachable and a little bit more understanding. It's really understanding for me. So I'll be looking at that area over there for a possible buy. So I reckon this would maybe kick off between today and tomorrow. So I'll post again on Wednesday on the setup and I'll let you guys know if it's successful. I'm just giving you guys an idea on what I see. And what I do see is an inverted head and shoulders. And usually with an inverted head and shoulders, we do look for buy side potential. So all I'm doing is waiting for the area that I marked out, and I'll look to enter once the market gets to the area that I'm looking for. So yeah, that's the one P that I'll be looking at for this week, as well as CADJPY. I'll be doing an analysis on CADJPY shortly, so stay tuned. As well as don't forget to subscribe as well. Hi there, so now we will be looking at CADJPY. So what I'll do is the same as usual, go onto my weekly, and I've already worked on the SPY, so I'll just neaten out the zones I've marked previously, and I will have a look at the potential of buying. I generally always look for buying signals because that is what I specialize in. Sell side, there is selling potential, but I mostly prioritize buy side. So looking at CAD-JPY on the weekly, I can see that market has dropped down from the recent high and marking out the previous low of the initial buy move. Yeah, we can see that it has been holding strong in that area for quite some time. So what I'll do is I'll go now onto our daily, and on our daily I would have a look, and what do you see there? As you can see, I see a double bottom on the previous zone that I've marked, the weekly low, the second one. So what I'll do is I would whip out my Fibonacci retracement and mark that low to its high, and the 78 6 zone is where I generally always look for, because to me that is premium buy side. So what I did there was I marked out the recent low of the daily, and as you can see, it looks a little bit more promising than the previous move because um, of my probability ideology, if I have to put it that way. We must let move, so we need to look for something new. So me marking the area over there and making a mistake. Um, yeah, so marking the area, I would go onto my 4 hour. After my 4 hour, as you can see there, the same like the Nasdaq in sorry, an inverted head and shoulders. So I would potentially look for a buy in that area. Unfortunately, we did miss the initial move because that's what I noticed after messing up the Fibonacci. We missed the initial move. I think that move moved yesterday off its previous low that it created. I would be looking for a buy of this other setup here as well because even though we missed the move, the potential of us reaching back to that low to come to buy more positions higher would be a lot likely because I'll show you guys now of my Fibonacci marking its low. We can see that the market has pushed up to a certain level and hasn't broken the 4 hourly higher low. So going off that area as a point of resistance, we'll be looking at for us just pushing down. It will only work once if we push lower of this level. If not, we won't be looking at buying the setup only due to the fact that that high needs to keep and it needs to go low to buy up. So we'll keep you guys posted on the setup on Wednesday again. So everybody that do find value in this video, hit a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out, gifted disciples.